Alright, hi everyone. I realize it's been a long time since I've done a video, and I've sort of taken a break from my YouTube channel for a while, so I wanted to say hello again and give everyone an update as to what's been going on. So I'm really sorry that I haven't really been making any videos, and I apologize if I haven't responded to any comments lately. I am in school, and I have been really busy with that, and I sort of took a break from YouTube, so apologies for that. Just sitting in my pet room right now. I'll talk a little bit more about what's going on in here in a moment. So I have gotten some questions about like what's been going on with the guinea pigs. So basically a few months ago my husband and I had took a trip to Florida with some friends, and we were going to be there for a week. This is my cat Juno. Hi baby. She's a little bit whiny when she wants to be petted, but she's very, very sweet and cute. She likes windows. Anyway, and so we tried to find a pet sitter, and we could not find a pet sitter. It was ridiculous. We were trying really hard, and we were getting really stressed out and worried about who would watch the guinea pigs. The two people that we'd had pet sit for us before were both going to be out of town at the same time as well. So, and that's kind of when we started thinking more about and talking candidly about, well, should we maybe find alternative homes for the guinea pigs instead of keeping them here with us anyway. Because we are both in graduate school, we are very short on time and money, and unfortunately guinea pigs take a lot of time and money to care for. And I'm not saying they're not worth it. I absolutely loved them. They were my babies, and I definitely cried a lot when we were contemplating this decision, but with the amount of time that we spent caring for them, we didn't really have a ton of extra time to spend bonding with them and playing with them. And since they did come from a rescue, two of them, River and Buttercup, were pretty shy anyway and just really did not like to be held even after having them for quite a while. So it was a tough decision, and definitely a sad and hard one, but we first started thinking of it when we couldn't find a pet sitter, and we're like, well, we'll just put some ads out there saying we might be looking for homes to adopt our guinea pigs out to, and just sort of see what responses we got. And we actually heard back from two people. You have some cardboard on your face. I'll talk more about the pets that we do still currently have once I'm done with this, I guess. Oh, I feel like I'm rambling now, so to make the story short, we found two families that were looking for guinea pigs, and it just so worked out that one of them had only wanted to take one, and one of our three guinea pigs was really hard to introduce to other guinea pigs. She was pretty bossy, Inara, but she was very people-oriented and very sweet and easy to hold, and they had young children, so that worked out perfectly. And they did have one other guinea pig that they said they would try introducing her to, and I was in contact with her later, and that actually went really well, which is exciting. And then another couple here that goes to OSU, they were looking for maybe one or two guinea pigs to be friends with their female guinea pig, and their one guinea pig got along well with the remaining two guinea pigs we had, and they decided to go ahead and adopt both of them. And I know they're very happy right now together as well. So that's, that's exciting. That makes me really happy to hear that they're in good places, and we definitely made sure of it before we even considered giving them away. And we did rescue them from a rescue that was having difficulties with the amount of guinea pigs they had. So while they were with us, they definitely had a very, very nice and loving home, and we definitely cared for them as much as they needed. And then we just made sure when it was becoming very difficult for us that they got placed in homes where they would get what they deserved, and we definitely split up the supplies, and also gave the cage to the family, and made sure that they had everything they needed. And so they're all in C&C cages with lots of space and love and attention. So anyway, so that's the story there. I do look forward to, at some point when we're done with school and have our own place. Also, I mean, it was unfortunate that we do live in a small apartment and the cage took up like half of our living room. which again was fine, but then with all the factors compounded, it ended up being a little bit too much for us. But I do look forward to eventually in the future owning a dog and potentially guinea pigs again. I really enjoyed getting them from a rescue and working with them to tame them, and I mean, maybe we could even consider doing foster type stuff in the future where we sort of work on taming them and then see if there are families out there looking for guinea pigs, because so many people go to pet stores, and buying pets from pet stores just encourages all that awful breeding and poor care of the animals, and people really should consider adoption first, for sure. And I mean, speaking of which, like, there are people going to pet stores to buy hamsters, which is pretty common, but do check your local rescues first, because, for instance, there is a local rescue that currently has 6 hamsters right now that all came from one unexpected litter, and they're all looking for homes, and it's just a great thing to consider. But anyway, so that's that, I guess, on what happened with the guinea pigs, and I apologize for anyone who may have subscribed to my channel to get good guinea pig information and have guinea pig videos, so I'm really sorry that there won't be any more of that, but if you still have questions, you can let me know. We definitely got, I feel like, a lot of expertise from when we did have them for quite a while, and we're constantly coming up with better solutions and things for them to make their lives better. Oh, and I'll show you my hamster. She's not normally awake right now. It's about 10 in the morning, but looks like she's thirsty. It's kind of hard to see. This is a bin cage, so the glass or the plastic's a little bit frosted, but we can peek over top too. So this is Leela. She is my, what is it, cream banded Syrian hamster. She was born July 24th, so that would put her at, let's see, like a little over 3 months old. So it seems like she'll probably still have a little bit of growing to do. But she is so cute and sweet. And let's see, so this is her cage. I'll talk a little bit more about that. And I guess I can move on now to my other animals while I'm here. So I currently have 1 hamster, a cat. Yeah, I'm wearing a robe. It's kind of chilly. And then 2 gerbils in there. And so this hamster, her name is Leela. And so we accumulated a lot of supplies from a previous dwarf hamster we'd had a long time ago, and then we got a lot of stuff when we had the gerbils, and so we had the supplies to have another hamster, and they really don't take a lot of work and time, and so it was kind of in the back of my mind. And then I was keeping an eye on Craigslist for anyone that said that they had hamsters like that they really needed to give away. And somebody had posted that when their hamster got pregnant and they were expecting babies and hadn't really planned on it and didn't know what they were going to do with all of them. And so I said, well, you know, let me know if the pregnancy goes well and the babies are born and you get to the point where you're going to be weaning them and selling them. And so she did, and we got a text, let's see, it was about mid-August, saying that the babies were born and we could come look at them, and so we did. And that was, oh, it was so cute. They were tiny. They were, I think, like 5 or 6 weeks old, and just absolutely adorable. She was smaller than the palm of my hand, but so we had a few options there, and we were kind of torn between male and female, but basically in the end we held a few of them, and they were tired because it was not quite their time to be up yet. So I kind of just tried to gauge which one seemed the least cranky to be annoyed and least likely to want to nip at me or be like, hey, put me down, like, what are you doing? And the other ones got a little cranky, as one would expect, but she was the one that seemed the most tolerable. And also I just think she's so cute, because I mean, a couple of the other ones had different colorations, but I think the cream color is just absolutely adorable. And so we went ahead and adopted her from them and brought her home, and then we made a bin cage. So basically we bought this bin, I think it was at Bed Bath & Beyond. I can't remember what size it is, but I could look that up if somebody wants me to. And then we cut 2 holes in the top and got some wire mesh from a local hardware store for really cheap. And then we just punched holes along the sides and zip tied it with zip ties or cable ties to the top. And so now it's a great big cage. And so also this part right here is not needed. It's basically to keep our cat from jumping on the tops of our cages and staring down at the poor little critters and trying to paw at them. I mean, which they could probably get used to, but at the same time we don't really want her weight on the top of the cages because it could bend down the lids, and we want to make sure the cages stay safe and sound. But yeah, so this is her bin cage, and we actually just made some modifications to it, put a lot of stuff in there, so I can sort of talk about that. And let's see, so right here I made sort of like a little hanging treat kebab thing. I got some twine, tied it onto the bottom, got some loofah chews, there's a mineral chew and a couple of fruit sticks, and then that's a tub, well, what used to be a margarine tub. I got this idea from someone online on YouTube, and basically you cut a window in it. Let me kick my cat out and then I can actually pull open the cage here. Come on, sweetie. Good girl. Alright, let me pull this out here. And she is such a sweet hamster too. I can talk more about hamster taming if anyone wants me to. When we got her, she was so skittish, like deathly afraid of everything. And so I worked with her solidly for about a week, and look, she's stuffing her cheeks before she goes to sleep for the day. Look at her pouches. Oh, that's adorable. Hi, baby. So I can talk more about that too, because I found a method that seemed to work really well. It was sort of a combination of things I had read online. So anyway, so this is her bin cage. That is a Snack Shack log. It's sort of filled with honey seed treat stuff. And so I know that's not super healthy. She started chewing on that a little bit and didn't really seem to like any of her chew stuff. So I figured I'd put that in there because hamsters seem to like it a lot. So to get her to chew just a little bit maybe. But she doesn't even seem to be chewing on it that much. Like, this has already been in here for a day or two, and it looks sort of new. I saw her gnawing on it just a little bit. So that's good. At least she's not eating too much of it. But if I figure if she starts eating a lot of it, I'll take it out and give it to her just a little bit here and there as a treat. And then we bought her a Wodent wheel online, which I highly recommend. We actually even got one for the gerbils. It's a great size, very silent. She likes it a lot and can run really well in there. It's a good size. I think it's the Wodent Wheel Junior. And then this is the margarine tub. So basically you cut a small window out of it and you fill it with either like hamster potty litter or some other stuff, and then put some of their soiled bedding in it, and you try to get them to use this as their potty basically. We just finally ran through the margarine that used to be in here, so this is kind of new to her. I don't know if she's really started using it yet. And then also I felt like I wanted to get her some tubes because hamsters seem to like tubes and she didn't have any. And so we ordered some Habitrail Ovo tubes online and sort of just decided, well, we would go ahead and set them in the cage. So I think we ordered the tower set and then a couple extra pieces like the U-turn, but basically, so we put it in here. There's an opening there, and one here that kind of opens up underneath. And I'll just show you really fast. That's her den there. Oh, let's not disturb her. Very sweet. Oh, and then this was the kebab I was talking about. Yeah, so basically that is that. I'll go ahead and close this up here. Oh, and then this toilet paper tube, I went ahead and taped out of the way, so it's just hanging up now, but then when I take that Snack Shack log out, it's going to be hanging right there about an inch off the ground, so that's why it's up out of the way for right now, but I can let it down really easily. Alright, sweetie, we'll let you rest now. Okay, I'll put that away there. So yeah, so we've had her a couple months. And then the gerbils we've actually had for quite a while. We had them when we had the guinea pigs too. And let's see. I think they've gone to sleep in their nest. Oh no, there's Maddox. So we have two male gerbils. Well, that's a whole nother story I can get into, I suppose. That's Maddox. And then the black one is Hershey, and I think he's buried himself in that pile there. They're so cute. I love gerbils too. I can definitely go into a pros and cons video too at some point if anyone wants me to on gerbils versus hamsters, versus guinea pigs too, potentially. So this is Maddox and the black one is Hershey, and we adopted them several months ago. I'll have to look up the date. But, well, we actually adopted Maddox and a different male that he was with at the Humane Society. And they actually stopped getting along after a couple days. And so if they squabble a little bit, that's fine. But if they get to the point where there's a lot of, they'll squeak at each other if they're angry. If there's a lot of that, like I thought there was like a bird outside the house that was squeaking like crazy, and I was wondering what was going on, but it was the gerbils fighting actually, and they were, if they get to the point where they're really aggressive and like they start drawing blood, you need to separate them immediately and do something about it. So they had both sustained mild injuries by the time I got to them, and so we separated them and went back to the Humane Society, and we had to sort of pick which one we were going to give back to them and which one we were going to keep. So we decided to keep Maddox, and we had him for a couple days after that on his own, knowing that we needed to get him a friend at some point. And he really was so lethargic and depressed. Sorry, I try to keep him from chewing on the wheel. There's a lot of other chew toys, and they've chewed on it a little bit, but not too bad. The reason we went with the woven wheel for them, even though gerbils tend to chew something like that, is that the silent spinners were actually ended up being too small for Hershey, who's like a giant gerbil. Here, let me give you something else to chew on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Here, eat on this. We know you love cardboard. Yes, you do. There we go. And so then we just kept our eye again on, I think it was Craigslist, for somebody who, let's see, and there's also Hoobly, that's a good website, for somebody who had like a baby gerbil that we could get as a buddy for him. And we were so fortunate. Somebody had recently had a litter of gerbils, and they were trying to sell the gerbil babies, and there was one at the perfect time to be weaned left over. Goodness gracious, Maddox, stop that. There's nothing really bad about it. Here, let's give you a full tube. Oh, where are they? He loves toilet paper tubes. And we got so lucky. We did the split cage method, which again could be something I could talk about. We got pieces of wood and got some sealant, glued them halfway through the aquarium, had some mesh, and put it in between, so that way when we introduced them we had him on one side and the baby on the other. Fortunately, right away they seemed like they really wanted to interact, and they actually kept trying to climb up the mesh and get to each other, but of course there was a lid so they couldn't. And so you do the thing where you swap their sides like twice a day so they get used to each other's scents, and you have minimal distractions in the cage, so not very much in there. And within a couple days we felt like it was safe to just open that up, which you want to be really careful with, but they were just like dying to get to each other and sleeping next to each other with the divider. And so we did that, and they have been best buddies ever since. They're so cute. They snuggle together all the time, they play together, they groom each other. They always sleep together. It is very cute, and so we were so lucky that it worked out well like that, and they get along. And so Syrian hamsters need to be alone. They cannot be with another hamster, another creature in their cage. Gerbils, like rats, and guinea pigs, are very social creatures, and they definitely need a buddy, or else they're very, very sad compared to how they would otherwise be. We could definitely tell a difference, and actually I was really worried about him when we had to give the other gerbil back and he was alone for maybe like a week. He got skittish all of a sudden, he was depressed, he didn't do a whole lot, he kind of just hid in his house. It was so sad, but they're very active and friendly. And they don't nip at all either. All of my pets have ended up being really tame. I've been working with them, so they're very, very sweet as well, and they'll just come up onto my hand like Leela does. So that's them. And then Juno we've also had a little while. We adopted her a few months ago from the Humane Society as well. I have no idea why in the world she was there. She's The sweetest, cutest cat ever. Super playful. Absolutely beautiful. Hi, baby. Yes, and she's so friendly. She loves everyone, and she loves cuddles and likes being held, and we just got so lucky. Yes, we did. So basically that is the rundown on our pets and updates on the situation. If you have any questions or any video requests, let me know. And again, I sincerely apologize to everyone who subscribed, because, you know, it was a guinea pig channel, so I'm very, very sorry if I've disappointed anyone. But that's sort of how that's been going. So again, thanks to everyone watching. Thanks to all my subscribers and anyone who has stayed subscribed. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions or comments. I promise I'm gonna try to be better about actually being back on YouTube now and sort of checking that periodically. So thanks again. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. Bye.